Hey girl, welcome back to Her True Name Ministries. If you happen to be new here, my name is Heather. I'm the founder of Her True Name Ministries. This is a space that was created for us to come together and get real, to get real about identity, to get real about healing, to get real about trauma, and to get real about how God just meets us in the middle of the mess. So today we're going to be talking about something that's just not talked about a lot, something that we just don't address. We usually don't talk about it in church. We don't talk about it on social media. We don't usually talk about it together in friend groups. And that is the pain of purpose. It is the untold parts of surrender, the messy parts. So if you have said yes to God and now you're wondering why everything is suddenly starting to hurt and feel messy, then this message is for you. And if that is you, do not worry. You're not crazy. You're not failing. You're right where you're supposed to be. And I'm so glad God brought you this video today. So let's dive in. People really like to talk about the pretty parts of purpose. They like to talk about how you get your calling and you get that download and that word from God. And then they say the next step is being just joy and success and peace and just the beautiful parts of purpose. But nobody likes to talk about the hard parts. The parts that can really drag you down and question everything. They don't tell you that surrender, that your purpose, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you some things that you really enjoy in your life that are actually worldly things. It's going to cost you to go into places that God has to tear down and to expose so that He can heal you from the inside out. When I was first saved, I was kind of in that spot where I was like, oh, this is going to be great because, you witness other Christians who have been in their walk for a really long time and they just have the joy of the Spirit on them. It's like no matter what happens in their life, they just carry that joy and it's infectious and it's something that you want so badly. But what you don't see is the behind the scenes. You don't see what they went through to get there. You don't see the times that they were in their secret place and they were crying out to God to take them away from the pain and to remove the things in their life that were doing them harm and doing them no good. I've been there. It gets really ugly sometimes before it gets beautiful, before it gets to that place of joy and that place of peace and that place of just walking in your purpose. When I was very, very first saved, God started peeling back every layer of trauma that I had. He started to expose things that I didn't even remember, that my mind was protecting me from. He started to show me memories that I had shoved down so deep. I literally thought that I was crazy whenever they started coming back up. I thought they were a figment of my imagination. I had to go through extensive therapy with a Christian therapist in order to realize what was happening, that this was God trying to expose things little by little so that He could get to the root cause of things that I was feeling and emotions I was carrying and triggers that I had so that He could heal them, so that I could get to the other side and be able to walk in my purpose. And if I can make it through that, if God can do it for me, trust me, He can do it for you. Purpose hurts because God He's not just using your gifts. He's healing the parts of you that used to live without Him. You're walking with Him now, but there was a point where you didn't have Him. He might have had you, but you didn't have Him. I like to say that that's the biggest part of my testimony is God always had me even when I didn't have Him. Because I look back on so many times where something bad should have happened to me. Honestly, I shouldn't even be walking anymore. I shouldn't even be alive anymore. But God had my back because He knew that I was going to eventually turn to Him. He knew that I had it in me. He believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I literally was being carried by God. I was being protected by God. I had His favor even when I was denying Him. So just think about Moses. He didn't walk into his calling confidently. Think about Gideon. He was hiding in fear when God called him mighty warrior. Think about Mary. She's chosen, she's favored, and she's purposed. And she still had to birth her purpose in a stable. Think about that. Purpose is holy, but the process is 100% human. One of my favorite verses about surrender is in Luke. It's chapter 9, verse 23. It says, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, deny your flesh, take up his cross daily and follow me." Daily. Not on Sunday, not just on Easter, not just on Christmas, daily. We have to deny ourselves and we have to take up our cross every single day in order to walk closely with him. It's not just one moment at a time. It has to become your lifestyle. You have to actually change. That means changing your thoughts, changing your views, changing what you listen to, changing what you digest, changing the people that you're around. You have to literally get with like-minded people who are going to call you higher. It is a daily surrender. It is a lifestyle, not just a one-time thing. Nobody talks about the silent battles of surrender. The times whenever you get lonely, it just feels like you're totally alone. The moments where surrender feels like you're losing. The times when following God costs you approval, relationships, comfort, predictability. Surrender doesn't just take what's in your hand. Surrender reveals what's in your heart. God doesn't expose you to shame you. He exposes you to free you. He's breaking chains. When I was going through all of that, where he was bringing things to the surface, I honestly was so angry at him. I didn't understand why all of a sudden all of this hurt was coming to the surface. I didn't understand why he would do that to me. I thought that he was mean because of it. I just didn't get it. And I didn't have the right people around me at the time to help guide me through it, to help support me through it, to help encourage me through it, to tell me that it was going to be okay. But what he was doing was the most pure love I have ever experienced. And it took getting through to the other side to realize that. He was breaking chains. He was ridding me of bondage. He was ridding me of the thoughts, the old mindset. He was breaking me down to make me whole again. Surrender is not God taking from you. Surrender is God giving you back the parts of yourself that the enemy tried to destroy. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever obeyed God and then suddenly felt like every single thing was falling apart? That's because surrender exposes what was weak so that God can rebuild it and make it strong. When you say yes to purpose, God starts to prune. And pruning sometimes hurts. Sometimes it feels like loss because it's God breaking away the things that are dead, the things that aren't going to help you to get to your purpose. They're not going to help you with your walk with God. So you have to be pruned in order to produce fruit sometimes. And yeah, the pruning can hurt. But Jesus said in John 15 that pruning is proof you're meant to bear more fruit, not less. Pruning isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's just like with a tree. Trees are pruned in wintertime to prepare them for springtime when they're able to produce fruit, when they are going into that new season of new life and new abundance. With everything being in the spotlight, we've been taught to hide the middle, to hide the ugly. We want everything to be aesthetic. We want everything to be pretty. We want everything to be something that people want to look at, something that doesn't make people feel uncomfortable. But we really need to show the middle. We really need to show that time where it gets messy, and we need to be vulnerable with each other because we all go through it. And if we're vulnerable with each other, and if we share those things, if we lean into each other and lean on each other, it's going to make it so much easier for other people because they have relatability. They know that they're not alone. So we have to get raw. We have to be vulnerable. We can't live this social media lifestyle where it's all sunshine and roses all the time, where it's all pretty and it's all picture perfect, because it's not. That's not life. The middle is where God does the work. The middle is like God doing surgery, like open heart surgery on us. He's opening us up. He's exposing the things that are dead, that are diseased, that need to be fixed. And then it prepares us for the time where we're going to be healed and we're going to be whole again. But we have to go through the middle in order to get to the end. We can't jump just straight to the end. We can't jump straight to the pretty parts. Most people don't know about the tears that you cry in private because you can't speak it out in public. A lot of times we don't feel comfortable with that. They don't know that the spiritual warfare that hit the moment that you stepped into your calling, because we don't share it. We have to share it. They don't see the healing that's done behind the scenes. Usually they only see the aftermath of it. They don't see the before, they don't see the during, they see the after. Purpose doesn't always look powerful. Sometimes purpose looks like showing up when you're empty, when you feel drained. Sometimes purpose looks like trusting God with the version of you that still shakes. Did you know that your calling is bigger than your capacity? God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And sometimes that means growing you and stretching you. You have to open up, and you have to be teachable, and you have to be open to receiving what he wants to give you. And most of the time, what he gives you is going to cause some stretching and some growing. If you could do it on your own, why would you need God? That's why surrender sometimes hurts, because it forces you out of your self-reliance. It forces you out of your comfort zone. It forces you to look outside of yourself and to trust somebody so much bigger than you. God will take you into those assignments that stretch you. He'll take you into places of empathy that drain you. He'll take you into rooms that intimidate you. And he'll take you into battles that cause you to pray so deep, deeper than you have ever prayed before, to get raw with him, to open up to him, to show him all of the parts that need to be fixed. Imagine a woman giving birth. The pain is not a sign of something wrong. The pain is a sign of something new that's coming. In the same way, the pain that you experience in your purpose is not a sign of God's absence. The pain is actually a sign of God moving in you. It's a sign of growth. Can I tell you something though? Surrender doesn't end with loss. Surrender ends with resurrection. It ends with coming into your new self. Every single time that you release something to God, he replaces it with something so much stronger. Every time you let go of fear, he gives you faith. Every time you surrender shame, he gives you identity. Every time you surrender control, he gives you peace. Purpose isn't about perfection. It's about permission. Giving God permission to finish the story he started in you. If this spoke to you, would you just take a minute, drop a comment below, tell me that you're surrendering the untold parts. And if you're in a season where purpose hurts, I would absolutely love to pray with you, to stand with you, and just to remind you that you're not alone. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next teaching. We are building a community of women who refuse to let pain silence their purpose. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you, but Jesus loves you more.